Good afternoon, students. Today is our second day. I am Himal Barwal, your social teacher, and today our lesson 2, that is classification of the society. Yes, yesterday we discussed on what is society and what is the relationship between society and human being and all these matters. Today we are going to discuss classification of the society, how we can classify the society in different ways while observing the society by various angles. There is no universal rule to observe the society by only one angles. So, various scientists, sociologists, anthropologists and some others had observed the society in their angle of views, and in this lesson we are going to study it thoroughly on it. Okay. First of all, base and classification. That first you can see on a board, that is economic base. In a economic base, there is classification. One is capitalist society and another this is socialist society, and that is mixed up society. Okay. Now we will discuss what is capitalist society. Students, capitalist society means where the property is belongs to individuals, where there is more value of economy, means and resources controlled by the money or economy. That sort of society is called capitalist society. Are you clear about the capitalist society? I hope. And now socialist society. Socialist society, where there is a property, it not belong to individual but with the group of people or the government. That sort of society is called socialist society. And mixed up society means where there is the some effect of the capitalist society and some effect of the socialist society, that is called mixed up society. Okay. Capitalist society, especially American society and others European society, comes under the capitalist society, whereas communism as well as China, Russia and some countries have the socialist society, and our country like Nepal, India have, we can say, mixed up society. And another is lingual. What is the base? On the basis of language that society has been classified. Before that, I would like to add some historical point about the language, because according to the census 2068, in our country there are 125 castes and 123 languages and 10 religions. And if we go through the history, that Rana Prime Minister Chandra Shamsher had started the first census in Nepal in 1968, and this last census of Nepal, not a last, current census of Nepal is 2068. So, if in our country there are many languages, on that basis of language also, society has been classified. All you are well known, I think. Mono means one and bi means two and multi means various. Yes. And some society have single language society also, you can see. That sort of society comes under the monolingual society. Okay. See on a board, one is monolingual society, bilingual society and multilingual society. So, by that ways the basis of language, the society has been divided into monolingual, bilingual and multilingual society. Now, on the base of religious base, I have written on a board Hindu, Muslim and some ... In our country there are 10 religions according to the census 2068. Remember that also. So, in different countries and on the basis of the religion also, society can be classified. In some specific places where there is one society existing, there may be only the specific religions peoples, and that kind of society also can be formed. And remember that in our country the religious based society is not formed. Be clear about this. Okay. Now, on the basis of settlement area, settlement means where we are living. On that basis also society can be classified, that is rural society and urban society, rural and urban society, as well as many society can be as per the settlement area. Village society, city society, it is called rural and urban. In some specific places maybe, in that times also settlement basis can be more also. Now up to this time we are discussing about the rural and urban society. Now on the basis of periodic, by the period itself, yes, by the period itself you are clear. In which period to which period? Ancient period, medieval period and the modern period. In ancient period, where there was no any facilities, there was not a particular weak types and able type society. Peoples were struggling only to live, searching foods in the jungles, edible roots and only the fleshes of the animals. In that time the society was formed. That sort of society is called ancient society. And medieval society, when they started the journey from the hunting and gathering stage, there was no permanent settlement and the situation was tough. They slowly started to learn something and they entered to the medieval society, where they started somehow fruits farming or horticulture, agriculture. In that time this society comes under the medieval society. And the modern society, which we are now, especially in the modern society, we are in the medieval and modern, and some gap still we have. But modern society, where there is development, where there is facility, where there is the good formation of society and life is little bit simple to complex, that sort of society comes under the modern society. By that way, some classification of the society on the various bases we discuss. Students, I think you know about that, and to remember also it is not easy by the earning, or we can say economic base, yes, and by the language base, religion base, settlement base and periodic base. By that ways this base and classification we discuss. Okay. Now according to the Sir Edward Burnett, you see here nomadic society, barbarism society and civilized society. Nomadic society. Nomadic means people have no shelter, no family, no any particular guarantee of the life. So they are roaming here to there. Sometime they are one place and after some time they are going to the another place. Only what is the main aim? Main aim is searching the food. Only they are thinking how to live. That sort of society is called nomadic society. After the nomadic society, we discuss on the barbarism society. Barbarism means not a civilized, you can say uncivilized society. Slowly and gradually people started to make their shelter, they started to live in groups, and in that situations peoples were not civilized. Still they don't know how to put on the clothes, there is the lacking of the languages and the behavior is not look like a human being. Still they are look like animals, even though they are somehow different than the animals. So this type of society comes under the barbarism types of society. Students, according to Sir Edward Burnett, another society, that is civilized society. Civilized society means the society is developed, they develop the languages, education system is going on, culture and tradition is going on in a flow ways, they are doing everything in a good manner, everything is okay, everything is positive. In that sort of society comes under the civilized society. So according to Sir Edward Burnett, the society has been classified into three, that is nomadic, barbarism and civilized society. Okay. Now students, another sociologist also and one of the great philosopher, that Karl Marx, also classified the society into 5 subcategories or groups. That is, number 1 is hunting and gathering society. Hunting and gathering, they will go for hunt, they will gather in a place, they will eat whatever they will get, after that they again go to the another ways. For what? That same, for searching food. And that sort of society, according to the Karl Marx and his philosophy explanation, this society has more similarities. Karl Marx has explained about the society on the basis of, you can say, similarities and dissimilarities. So we have to know hunting and gathering society have the more similarities, because there was no any discussion or there was no any discriminations, they were same, either male or female. There was no rich and poor, there was no industry, there was no king, there was no administrators, there was no pupils, there was no that sort of any chain of discriminations, all the peoples were equal. So that sort of society is called hunting and gathering society. After that, number 2, that is pastoral society. Pastoral society, where the people started to capture some animals. When they were in hunting and gathering society, because of the development of their concept and mind, what they started? They started the capture of animals which actually they can capture. They are unable to capture the tiger. Is that? No, because when they were in hunting and gathering society, in that time they knew which animals we can control and which animals can kill us. So that sort of meek animals which they can easily catch and control, that sort of animals they started to catch, and they started to live in particular areas, and pastoral society has been started. We can say look like a animal husbandry. Okay, in that society, slowly and gradually, not by me, according to Karl Marx, that society have some complexity rather than the hunting and gathering society, as well as in that society, pastoral society have some dissimilarities also, because when they started to live in a permanent place as a shelters, when they started to catch the animals, in that time what happened? Some caught more animals in a number, some caught more animals, some somehow less, and some without animals also. In that time they are clearly seen the dissimilarities in that sort of society, and some became rich, some became poor, and slowly and gradually rich started to control on poor, and there is started the gender discrimination also according to Karl Marx, because when pastoral society they started to live in a permanent place, in that time they some family system also started, and the woman unable to do work as equal to men, so they started to exploit on women also. That sort of development was seen in the pastoral society. Now, number 3, feudal society. Feudal society means the society we can see look like a agricultural society, whereas some people started to capture land, and some people started to capture more lands, they are able to capture more lands, they have more animals also, and slowly others became the somehow weak by capturing the less lands. So there is the relationship as a landowners and the peasants, okay, and peasants were exploited by the landowner, so he has given the name of the society is feudal society. Feudal means exploited the peasants by the landowners. That sort of society is called the feudal society. And another is point number 4, capitalist society. In capitalist society, where there is the more value of the economy, where there is the more productions and peoples are producing more for selling, not for their consumption, so that people started to give more value on economy. Money is everything. They started to earn. Again when on they started to reinvest the money. This comparison is going on, and very few people have the more money, and the many peoples are being very poor. That sort of situation is being created in that sort of society, where there are rich are very rich and poor are very poor, but the number of rich are few or less, and number of poor are more. That sort of situation, conflict type situations rises in a society. That sort of society comes under the capitalist society according to Karl Marx. And last, number 5, that is socialist society. Socialist society means where there is the property is not for an individual, property under the group or property under the government. In that time there is no any kind of fraction, all are equal, all will get the work, all will get the food. That sort of society is comes under the socialist society. If we see the implementation of the Karl Marx society classification, we can see, we have seen in our life, not only by us, that calculation or the knowledge given by our parents, grandparents and the history, we have already seen hunting and gathering society, and as well as pastoral society, feudal society and capitalist society, but clear cut socialist society we haven't seen yet, even though somehow that can seen in some countries, but not a perfect. It has to be it, it will come or not, it is not sure, we have to see for the future. Okay. Now basis of sociologist and anthropologist. Sociologist first, talking about the classification, I would like to talk on the sociologist and anthropologist or meaning. Sociologist means studies about the society, the science which studies about the society is called sociologist, and anthropologist which studies about the human being, that science that is called anthropologist. Students, now you are clear what is sociologist and what is anthropologist. We are the teacher and student of social studies. It means sociology and the social studies. Yes, and so these 5 type of society, even though either Karl Marx divided or on various basis, or this basis of sociologists and anthropologists have many similarities. When we discussed on issue, that we can see the many similarities. Okay, hunting and gathering society. Hunting and gathering society, that already we discussed on the Karl Marx classification also. When we explain, but some explanations should be different, please keep in your mind. When you will explain this point here, that you can write about the discrimination, but while explaining here, you write about the simple life standard and so on, because on this basis, don't go through the discrimination ways and simplicity or what sort of societies and so on in every basis, or you can say classification point. Okay, so hunting and gathering, that is normal society was there, and people have main objective to join their hand and mouth and how to be safe from the animals, and that much. So it comes under the hunting and gathering society. And another is animal husbandry society, animal husbandry society and the pastoral society, where slowly and gradually they started the animal rearing, they started their permanent settlement, they started their family and kinship, and slowly they started to be learn more as a human. This society comes under the animal husbandry society. That sort of society is still existing in the Congo basin and some South African country and some parts of the India. Another is horticulture society. Horticulture society means there is the they go through the land, using the land for the fruits and flowers. Agricultures, that is look like agricultures, but the agricultures is for the crops, where horticultures is for the flowers. And so horticulture society is also some developed society, then the hunting and gathering society, after that animal husbandry, slowly and gradually development is going on. We started hunting and gathering society or lifestyle, after that animal husbandry, and after that horticulture society. In now point number 4, agriculture society. Agriculture society main earning source is agriculture, where the people mostly engage in agriculture, and that sort of society comes under the agricultural society. Agricultural society, we can see our country example, near about 65% peoples are engaging in agricultural society of our country. So this is the example of agriculture society. Now last one, industrial society. In industrial society, where there is the more development, where there is the more development, and industries, science, technologies are growing up. Many development we have seen, especially for the European countries and as well as America and some other developed countries, and some parts of our country, you can say the urban areas also come under the industrial society, where there is more workload, but instead of human power, the machines are working. The machines are working, so that industries are developing more. They have the more work ability. When machine works, there is the more productions will be. So, that sort of society is come under the industrial society. By that ways, basis of sociologist and anthropologist, the society has been divided into 5 subgroups, that is number 1, hunting and gathering society, number 2, animal husbandry society, number 3, horticulture society, number 4, agriculture society, and number 5, industrial society. So, there are students in this lesson classification of the society, various bases we have seen of the classification. Okay. In this various classification also are important to know as a students, but more important is basis of sociologist and anthropologist. All the societies are in continuous flow, they are being developed one step to another steps, but the angle of observing angle is different by different peoples. If Karl Marx is observing through the base of similarities or dissimilarities, if some evolutionist they are observing how one after another is developing, and if anyone going through the observing by the language also, and observing of the religions also, and observing of the settlement area also, there are various ways to observe the society, classification of the society. Even though as a final summary, what actually previous society was simple, now this society because simple to complex form, okay, and previous time there was more similarities, and of course now some more dissimilarities also we have seen in our society, and previous time less facilities were there, here are more facilities, and whatever you are observing, that modern society also we can say, industrial society also we can say, capitalist society also we can say, which society is still is now existing, that you can say industrial society also. Yes, now industrial society. In some countries now agricultural society also there, and in some countries now capitalist society also there, and in some countries now socialist society also there, and finally all the society are the civilized, comparatively simple to complex. Yesterday we discussed simple to complex and uncivilized to civilized. By that ways, classification of the society has been divided. Student, in this period I tried to teach you the how the society has been classified, and some classifications I have written on a whiteboard, and some may others classification also. Even though keep in your mindset that society can be classified in various ways as per the development process of the society and as per the angle of observing by the various persons. Either that may be philosopher, that may be sociologist, that may be any other specific field. They can divide the society on various classes, even though that all the society are being developed step by step. So, by that ways classification of the society, today this much we will discuss. Students, I hope you understood whatever I am conveying to you, and be regular in a class, stay with me in my period, and tomorrow again we will discuss on the lesson 3. Thank you.